What's up, Gooners? Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, make sure to subscribe because we've got 3 crucial updates today as Arsenal gear up for another epic clash. Gooners, Ben White's future at Arsenal is up in the air, and the club may have already found his replacement. The twist? This player is even more versatile than White, and he could be available on a free transfer. Ben White became Arsenal's most expensive defender of all time when he joined from Brighton in 2021. He was a regular starter under Mikel Arteta in his first few years, but injury issues and Jurrien Timber's brilliance have pushed him down the pecking order this season. Reports have claimed that Arsenal are open to selling White in 2026, which would be a massive decision given his quality. But if that happens, Arsenal need a replacement. And that's where Zeki Çelik comes in. According to Rudy Galletti on X, Premier League clubs like Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea and Manchester City have all approached Çelik with a view to signing him next year. The Turkish right-back is about to enter the final 6 months of his contract at AS Roma, which means he could leave on a free transfer in the summer. Now, some of you might remember Çelik from his time at Lille, where he had a fine debut campaign playing behind former Arsenal star Nicolas Pepe. After 4 good years in France, he moved to Roma in Italy, and he's been solid there as well. What makes Çelik particularly interesting for Arsenal is his versatility. The 28-year-old's primary position is right back, but he's played across the entire back line and even as a right midfielder over the years. That makes him even more versatile than White, who's only played at right back and centre half for Arsenal since joining in 2021. Arteta loves players who can play in multiple positions. That's been a consistent theme in his transfers. Timber can play right back, left back and centre back. Calafiori can play left back and centre back. Lewis Skelly can play left back and midfield. Versatility is a massive asset in Arteta's system. That's perhaps why Çelik has emerged as a target for Arsenal. He ticks all the boxes. Experienced with over 400 games for club and country. Versatile across multiple positions and potentially available on a free transfer, which is incredible value in today's market. However, here's my take on this situation. While Çelik is a good player and more than capable of playing a backup role at Arsenal, the priority should not be signing him. The priority should be convincing Ben White to stay at the club beyond next summer. On his day, White is one of the best right-backs in world football. Injuries have been an issue, but he's been fit for some time now, which is encouraging. Yes, White would have to accept playing as second choice behind Timber, but considering Arsenal play over 50 games a season, he'd still get plenty of opportunities. Arteta should use that argument to keep White at the club because it would cost a fortune to replace him with someone of similar quality. Çelik on a free is smart business as additional depth, but losing White and replacing him with Çelik, that's a downgrade, in my opinion. The ideal scenario would be keeping White and potentially adding Çelik as a third right-back option who can also cover other positions. That gives Arteta maximum flexibility and ensures we're not weakened if injuries hit. But if Arsenal are genuinely open to selling White, then yeah, Çelik makes sense as a replacement. Just don't expect him to replicate what White brings at his best. Now let's talk about the injury news ahead of Arsenal's huge Champions League clash with Bayern Munich, because Mikel Arteta has delivered some massive updates. The big news? Martin Odegaard is back. Arteta says he's confident the captain will return to the matchday squad for Wednesday night's meeting with Bayern Munich. This is huge, Gooners! Odegaard took part in full training on Tuesday during the club's open session at London Colney. It was his first involvement with the group since damaging his MCL against West Ham back in October. He's now pressing to be involved against Bayern, and Arteta confirmed the optimism in his pre-match press conference. When asked about the availability of Odegaard, Noni Madueke and Gabriel Martinelli, Arteta said, "Yeah, they are available, and we're going to have a meeting now to decide on Martin. We are confident he can be in the squad." Odegaard was in the stands for Sunday's 4-1 derby demolition of Tottenham, but he wasn't deemed ready for the bench. Now, just 3 days later, he could be back in the matchday squad. That's incredible progress. It's been a stop-start campaign for Odegaard, who's missed 12 games through a combination of this knee injury and 2 separate shoulder problems. But his return is the most significant boost Arsenal have had in weeks. We're unbeaten and yet to concede in the Champions League, and now we're getting our captain back. There was further good news in defence. Piero Hincapié and Riccardo Calafiori both trained on Tuesday after being forced off early against Spurs. Both are expected to be available for Bayern. Youth defender Marley Salmon also trained, providing extra cover if Arteta needs it. Gabriel Jesus continues to work through his rehab programme and is expected to feature in behind-closed-doors friendlies before being cleared for competitive minutes. Arteta said, "Yeah, he's quite close to be fair, and it's earlier than expected. In the next few days, he'll have another chance with a game that we're going to organise for him." Arsenal are reportedly set to play a private match against a Manchester United Ifeith on Thursday with the intention of providing minutes for returning first-team players, most importantly, Jesus. That's a smart way to get him match sharp without the pressure of competitive football. Now, the Victor Gyökeres situation is a bit clearer too. The striker has been out since scoring in the 2-0 win at Burnley on November 1st. Tuesday's training session provided no indication of a return for Bayern, so if he misses the game against the Germans, it'll be his fourth match out. But here's the positive news. When asked about Gyökeres and Kai Havertz, Arteta said, "Really good both of them. In the next few days they will have scans to see if we can push them for the weekend." So both strikers could be back for the Chelsea match on Sunday. That's massive for Arsenal's title push. Havertz was expected to be out until the end of next month after a small setback, so if he's back this weekend, that's way ahead of schedule. Madueke made his first appearance since September when he came off the bench in Sunday's derby win. Martinelli returned as an unused substitute and trained fully on Tuesday. Both will be available on Wednesday night against Bayern. The only player still definitely out is Gabriel, who remains sidelined with a thigh injury. So to summarise the injury news, Odegaard could be in the squad for Bayern. Gyökeres and Havertz could both be back for Chelsea. Jesus is close to returning. Hincapié, Calafiori, Madueke and Martinelli are all available. The only absence is Gabriel. That's an absolutely massive boost for Arsenal going into two crucial matches, Bayern away in the Champions League, then Chelsea at home in the Premier League. Having this much quality available again could be the difference in both games. Alright, let's finish with a fun story. Mikel Merino has revealed which player he would love Arsenal to sign, and it's his Spanish national teammate, Mikel Oyarzabal. Merino spoke to Adri Contreras and made it clear that he'd love the Gunners to bring Oyarzabal to the Emirates Stadium. And when you look at their connection, it makes perfect sense why Merino wants him. Merino and Oyarzabal played a key role in helping Spain qualify for the 2026 World Cup, with plenty of goals in qualifying between them. The Spanish duo rotated between playing in the number 9 role for Luis de la Fuente's team during qualifying, and they finished as joint top scorers for the national team with 6 goals each. The 28-year-old Oyarzabal is enjoying a great season for club and country, netting 11 goals and producing 7 assists in 20 matches. Those are serious numbers for a striker. Merino and Oyarzabal know each other incredibly well. They've played alongside one another at Real Sociedad, Sociedad B, Spain's youth teams, and now the senior national team. In total, the Spanish duo have played a staggering 234 matches alongside one another, combining for 15 goals. Last month, Merino netted a brace against Bulgaria, and Oyarzabal was on hand to assist him with one of the goals. Their chemistry is undeniable. Now, realistically, is this signing going to happen? Probably not. There isn't really a place in the squad for Oyarzabal, given Arsenal now have Victor Gyökeres, Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz. That's 3 quality strikers already competing for one position. But it's still interesting to hear what Merino thinks. He clearly rates Oyarzabal highly, and their connection on the pitch is genuine. If Arsenal were in the market for another striker, Oyarzabal would be a smart option given his form and that existing relationship with Merino. Merino also revealed something else interesting. He named Miles Lewis-Skelly as the one Arsenal player he would pick to draft into the Spanish national team. That's high praise for the teenager. Lewis-Skelly is very highly rated at Arsenal, but he's currently struggling to get game time under Arteta. The teenager has played just 87 minutes of Premier League football this term, which is why there's been talk about a potential loan move. Arsenal are against the idea of loaning Lewis-Skelly in January, but that could change with the defender eager to go to the World Cup with England. If he's not playing regularly for Arsenal, it's going to be very difficult for him to force his way into Thomas Tuchel's squad. But the fact that Merino, who plays with some of the best players in the world for Spain, singles out Lewis-Skelly as someone he'd want in his national team, That tells you everything about the talent we're talking about. So there you have it, Gooners. What do you think, Gooners? Should Arsenal sign Selic or keep White? Are you excited about Odegaard's return? And would you take Oyarzabal if there was space? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an Arsenal update. Until next time, Gooners, come on you Gunners!